economic teacher to the other 3 preceding her. And what did she know how to do? You know these Iranian maths that are very beautiful. She knows how to do it. And she now taught the 3. So money started coming in. So if the prophet is not alive now, so if you want to go for the second, go for the third, then the person should be trainable. It doesn't mean a woman. Why are we training ourselves for marriage? It's because we men especially, we lack knowledge about marriage. Even in those days, you only go to farm, come back. If you are a butcher, you rear animals, collect money for your parents. If whatever economic realm your parents are, they don't care about men. Their only fear is that the girl should not go and marry and come back home. And there is one very beautiful legacy or in Yoruba land, which Islam tried to moderate, but we have also misquoted Islam. In the olden days, if in your family you do not marry widows, that anytime a man dies, nobody will marry from that family again. Your family may not be given daughters. Wọ́n ní àwọn ò fẹ́ kó wá ṣe ọmọge ẹlẹ́kejì. Tí nǹkan bá ṣẹlẹ̀ ṣé iṣẹ́ wọn ìfẹ́yàn lé wọn láti fọmọ fún wọn. I met that thing when I was very young, in the early 70s. But because of some people who abuse that privilege, because I want to address the issue of widows also among us. When we are talking of turbulent time, we should also think of widows among us. Not only the married ones, they are part of us. And I've seen one of my friends in Lagos told me about an accident. May Almighty Allah bless him. Abdul Gafar Alagabi is a PhD holder. We are very close. He escaped an accident and was narrating to me that, Brother Fatah, Allahu Akbar. About 3 minutes we have accident. A mother was calling the girl sitting close to me, who was going to sleep in a boyfriend's house. I was telling her mother that I am in the school now. The mother was saying, but I'm hearing some voices. She said, yeah, that's the voices. I'm just walking alongside the front of the school. That's why you are hearing the noises of vehicles. And that by the time the accident happened, that side was gone, the girl was. So the issue now, Mama Mina Demon Kaka, Wani Emma Jeka, Teba Sadu Akwe Olon Jeki, Ikuoka Serimon Lowo, Mama Muni Erolomba. One Kamolo, Ntomba Senior Kamolo. Along with a bad baton, so Iwari, Mom Nisena. Because we don't know. It is explained in the end of Surah Al-Luqman. You don't know on which ground you are going to die. So your soul does not know where it will die. So I'm saying all this because of the mercy that is wiping away among us. In Yoruba realm, they abuse the system in the sense that a meaning of Yontulasi, and the Quran says no, you cannot inherit a woman karhan. That's whether you like it or not. Ngba ọkọ rẹ ti kú, èmi náà lọkọ rẹ. That is where they make it wrong. Not that we should be running away from widows. If we that are two are finding it difficult. Now, the issue now is that the husband that goes out to buy bread for the family and had an accident on the spot and died. What is the fault of the wife? What are the faults of the children? And why is it that we cannot marry them? Because we think we have more things to take care of. And that's the purpose for which Allah says the verse of the polygyny was revealed for orphans and widows. So the joy went like that, and that is the end. And now Muslims are now also creating NGOs for widows. Just as the people that has no preparation for such kind of tragedies in their own the religious doctrine that have said one man, one wife, till death do them part. Now, the widows, how are they coping, and what are our provisions for them if we refuse to marry them, or our wives will not welcome them? So the issue of turbulent time cannot be overcome if the husband and the wife involved are not ready to overcome them. And one of the best solutions during turbulent time like this, after having reduced your needs, after having expunged your needs out of your wants, àwọn tá a fẹ́ ni ó yàtọ̀ sí àwọn tá a lé lórí. What you really need are those things you should purchase. You check it, put your itinerary down, and put those needs apart, want apart. These are things we really need. These are things we want. If you are also in a polygynous setting, Ọlọ́run sọ pé ká ẹ ṣe déédéé lọ́nà tí ò nítumọ̀. It's not, I wrote it in that before I finish, lest I forget, there were some people who asked for Islam, polygyny, and the modern world, and I didn't give them. I sent again to give them. I hope if there is any complaint on that, please, when I finish, see me. I try to explain there the way some authors have, in order to please those who are saying things against Islam, they now make polygyny so difficult to do that if you want to practice it, whatever you give this, you must give this. Okay, I will now ask you, if I have a headache and my brother has pneumonia, would my father go and buy Panadol for the two of us? So while somebody is suffering from cold, the other one is hot. So there is no rule in Islam that says that if I come from village and my food normally ẹ̀kọ alẹ́ la máa jẹ, ẹ̀kọ tútù àtàkàrà la máa jẹ lálẹ́, and you now marry somebody from Ekiti as ìyẹn làwọn ọmọ jẹ́ sùn kí ọkọ wa pé kò lè ṣe déédéé owó ìyẹn tó owó oṣù tó máa kù ó fún ẹni tí ń jẹ ẹ̀kọ́. It's not that will link to you, some who will not link to you. So, and there will be some women that will be ready to help the husband, giving out, even going to the extent of borrowing and giving their husband. And there will be some, if you are polygynous, you may marry some that even if she has money, she will keep it under mbite idenu yara rẹ̀ ní ó fowó sí. Ẹ ti mọ̀ ká gbóhùn bá fowó bẹ̀ alájí orí. Ọmọ ká bá ti wá ní wọ́n fowó mi bẹ̀ mọ́. Just because she doesn't want the husband to know that she has money. So now, so what is injustice now? If such a husband, after providing clothing, shelter, and food, and now say, ìwọ tó ọmọ fún mi lówó, èmi náà fún ọ ní iye báyìí. We do it even among our children. And Islam does not say you should not pay back somebody who do you good because you are only, in fact, you are owing her. And you see it in the life of Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. A man came into the household of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and said, "O Rasulullah, whom do you love most?" And the Prophet said, "Aisha." He said, after Aisha, who again? He said, Abu Bakr. And when he mentioned up to 4, he stopped. So, and when you look at the closeness of Aisha, to the extent that when the Prophet was sick, he was comfortable to stay in Aisha's room. He begged others' wives to release him to be staying there until when he died. And where we look today as a tomb of the Prophet is Aisha's room. So, kí àwọn apẹ̀tọ̀ nípa fẹ́ ṣe justice, á ṣe ànábì sí gbogbo ọ̀nà yàrá àwọn yòókù ni. So, that is why the problem with running multiple families, I've talked about that monogamous, and why I said monogamous, let me repeat it again. Wallahi, monogamous marriages are the most difficult to, and my brother who spoke just now will bear with me, that crises in monogamous marriages are usually difficult to settle than those of polygynous. The reason is that you will hardly see a man that has 3 wives and one wife will kill him easily. Others will be on watch. But a man who is with one wife, when the crisis comes, no, it's not that every woman kills, but you will see that it will be difficult to settle, because just like I told you, it's one love, and that one love you have betrayed. But the one that is already sharing will look at it and say, this one, nti Biliki ṣe ni, nti Juwera ṣe ni, nti kini ṣe ni, and you look at that. But in a situation when you see monogamous fights, it may even lead to death. That any kakano wo ya ni simani. Yes. So, but as regards, I will soon touch this one. They say 5 minutes. But as regards monogamous marriage, you may need, even if you have not coordinated your family before, because sometimes men in Islam, they rent one house for one in Kuje, another one is in Gwagwalada, another one, they don't. If you are doing that, you should also know how to bring down the expenses. And if they are living closer, you should be able to call your wives together. Time come pit tẹ́lẹ̀ tí mo wà ní palmsec mo ti retire nísìnyí o, àwọn ọmọ yìí ẹ̀jẹ̀ wọn wà níbí báyìí so that a lè take care ìtókù lọ. Any woman whose stake is not being taken care may say no at that moment. What makes you a man is to stand your ground so that you not start selling your properties. So you should stand your ground, look for something that you can do, and then learn new things. So in essence, so in this work, I actually discuss peace and conflict resolution in Islam. I discuss something that goes on crisis when it is very hot. And I also touch the issue of people that are brought down from different backgrounds, which often happen. I don't want to, because of time, I don't want to explain that further. Then, without unity, whether you go into polygyny or you go into monogamy, your house cannot hold. So, what are and to make unity, you have to make a lot of sacrifices. And that is what this book is, Can a Torah Build Itself? Essence of Unity in Marriage. Then, also, the issue of having problems in marriage. Marriage itself is a problem because it is a union of two different souls from two different backgrounds. So there are provisions for how to manage marriage in Islam, in the Quran, Hadith, and other sources. So Gateway to a Successful Marriage also addresses that, and many other of my books. In most cases, sometimes when we realize that we have not touched certain issues, then we start writing other books. So you cannot meet the same thing in the same books. So may Almighty Allah help us to understand this message better than I've said it. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I want to sincerely believe that our Father and our resource person have done justice to the topic today. He has taken us through so many strategies to navigate matrimonial challenges and continue to stay afloat and ensure that we weather the storm and breathe the odds at all times. We sincerely appreciate that insightful lecture, and we hope to take it home and start implementing them in earnest, inshallah. Okay, so we'll be moving straight away to our panel discussion, where we'll be interfacing with our panelists to handle different aspects of this theme of today, which is navigating economic reality and model homes in turbulent times. So we have three panelists in our midst who will be taking us through the whole of this, from the finance and economic aspect of it, then from the law, Mawada, and all other aspects of it, then as well as looking at it from how to emerge stronger from a turbulent matrimonial home. Okay, so to run this panel with us is our brother in our midst who will be the anchor for this segment, who I'll be handing over to the person of engineer Abdul Bonile. So he's going to anchor this session for us, and we'll be having three panelists, as I said. One of the panelists is going to be a certified marriage counselor and lead counselor with Peaceful Castle Counseling Services, Lagos, in person of Dr. Abdurrashid Adebayo. Kevin, please, you are most respectfully welcome to the item. He's going to be handling strength in storm. Then we also have in our midst Our early fast father, our leader, a finance manager, and is a man of high international repute with the Media Action, one of the NGOs operating in Nigeria. We have in our midst Alhaj Abdurrafi Adibani, JMPD, Jabirullah. So he will be handling financial harmony for us, and he will be spotlighting how we can manage our finances as a couple jointly and in whatever form that brings harmony to whatever strategies we have decided to adopt various matrimonial homes. We also have in our midst our island father mother, who is also a veteran and a specialist when it comes to issues of marriage, love, affection, and what have you. She will be taking us with love that grows. How can we continue to grow and nurture love that is going to be an enduring matrimonial blissful home? To do this for us is Hajia Madina Sani, CEO, MTOS Abuja. Everyone. Okay, so I'll now be handing over to. Okay, so I mean, I'm supposed to be having this for us. Our mother is also a lawyer. I'm sure you'll be getting to know this when she starts taking us through lecture and our own perspective towards ensuring that we have love that grows in our respective matrimonial homes. So she's a learned counselor for that matter. Everyone. Okay, so let me just tell the men in the house to relax. She's not going to be telling our wives how to ensure litigation against us, and she's not going to be telling them how to deal with us ruthlessly. But let's sit back, relax, and enjoy what our mother will be taking us through. So,
That was 11 things about Alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam, ala Rasulullah, wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man da'a bi Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Now, inshallah, as we have been informed, a panel session like this will help us to break down the lead speaker's speech into more specifics and the ability to consume and apply them. Alhamdulillah, we will be going into further details. And just the same way our panelists have been invited to the podium, I also give them just 10 minutes to give us a summary of the whole of the issues from their different strengths as we have invited them. We'll engage them thereafter on those issues for further clarification, and then they will do a wrap-up of the issues that have been raised into a more practical way for us to be able to take home. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for all of us. The key issue, as we have been guided from the beginning of the discussion, is what should be our takeaway. It's not for us to come here and have the talk, but going further, how do we apply them in such a way to make our lives better? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy. And the first person I will call is my dear brother, Dr. Abdul Rashid. And Dr. Abdul Rashid, as we have said, I won't want to repeat what we talked about. All these have been done because of my time limits. So inshallah, Dr. Rashid, you have to come.
We give thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who has availed the opportunity of this program. It is because we are existing, that's why we have the opportunity. And because we are healthy, we also have this opportunity. And because we are Muslims, we also have this opportunity. As Muslims, we know that وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا وَيَرْزُقْهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبُ. So when you fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah is ever ready to open ways for us. So regardless of the situation that we are facing, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala open ways for every one of us. So I want to start by appreciating the presenter, our keynote speaker, and I equally have an full appreciation to the welcome address of Prof. And I know we are still going to appreciate all that are here. And you, my brothers and sisters, that will also deem it necessary to bring our own to be model. So, as a form of summary or contribution to what has been said, the aspect and to look at is actually the storm itself. When you talk about navigating the storm, most especially of this present time, we should know that as Muslims, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not bring storm except to do certain things for us. And the basic of it is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is doing it for you, just like He has done it for people before you. And the essence is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to make a separation between those that are fruitful in their faith and those that are liars in their faith. So if really you are part of the believers, your faith has to be firm in the time of turbulence. So let's establish that. I will go to our home, or our backyards, or our wives. As a marriage counselor, I've actually dealt with a lot of cases, and I know that women will need to be talked to. No matter how turbulent the storm may be, we must not ridicule our husband. No matter how turbulent the storm may be, we do not occupy the driver's side and take over the wheel steering. No matter how the storm may be, we must not make life miserable for our husband. How do I mean? The first one, do not ridicule him. Ridicule can be in front of the children. Ridicule can be before your friends. Ridicule can be before his family. Ridicule can be before your own family. Let me give us insight. Sheikh Imam Helia, he has some children that came to him and they said, "Oh, you Sheikh, please pray for us. Our mother is the first wife of our father. But right from the time she has given birth to us till the time we become adults, we never see things good between our mother and our father. And today we are adults. We can't do anything good in life except we go to our younger ones. But those younger ones, they are from the second mother. They are from the second wife. The man said, "Okay." He said, "Our mother used to ridicule our father before us. To the extent that our father has no money, but he went to farm a day. And while he was coming from the farm, he had a basket of pepper on his head. And rain started. This man moved in the rain and got home. You know what it means? Rain, pepper, basket. And the man got home and took a wrapper from the line. And he used the wrapper and he put up all his clothes. Our mother saw our father with that wrapper and she shouted, "Ah!" And removed the wrapper. What has he exposed?
The nakedness.
The nakedness of the man. And the man shed tears. Do not ridicule. Because the fortune of the children is attached to the mother. And the mother will only receive from that father.
Yeah.
So the more we are good for our husband, the more likely that blessing shower onto us and and we shower it for our children, and it may be otherwise. And that you will see in the second wife. The second wife was always there for that man. Even at the time of turbulence, she was there, and it built down to the children. Sheikh Isa Akindele, he talked about us. Do not occupy the driver's side. He narrated the story of an Alaja in Ibadan. That Alaja was blessed with fortunes, but the husband was actually struggling with his storm. But this Alaja opened account for her business, and she opened the account in the name of that man. Such that whenever she needed any money for the business, she will bring the check for the man to sign, and she will even kneel down for the man. She said, the children all over Ibadan, they are great people. So, model home. If you really want to get it right, do well to the husband. It is very, very important. Do not make life miserable. Making life miserable for our husband will go to the extent of this story I want to give us. A brother was found always waiting in the month after his child, till like 11. When it is 11 o'clock, he will now go. But he has been observed several times. A man now met with him. Let's go. He said, don't let me go. Am I taking body? Let's go. Don't let me go. And it was because the wife had made life miserable for him. So he did. I never dare go home. In this situation, we can make our husband run away. I know of 2, 3 brothers that are on the way, nobody knows where they are. But when we call them, hello, when are you coming home? No. They never wanted to come home. Life had been made miserable for them. So, and people can easily go into depression. For to just guide us to the few minutes I have left, if we are so much with our faith, we are going to set foundation for ourselves in the time of turbulence. What is the foundation? It is based on what Allah told us. Allah said it cannot be without being tested. That is one. He now said, no matter how the test is, that you had you know, it is not more than you. You can wither it. The two of you, the husband, the wife, no matter how it is, you are going to get it. So then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَمَنْ يَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ فَهُوَ حَسْبُهُ. If you rely on me, I will make it for you. So that is foundation. So then you now team up. In your teaming up, you team up to work together. So that whenever you are praying together. Why do you think the non-Muslim, then the Christian family, you will see the wife and the husband holding
their hands,
and they will be praying. Each other, they will command, and they are commanding. Wherever you put your faith, you are going to have the answer. So, and you will see them prospering. It's because they put their faith in it. Why are we not going to use our own? So, team up, hold yourself together. And that is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said. Unite. And Allah has also said you have to unite. In this, you will have solution to the problem of the time. May Allah help us.
Thank you. Actually, been tempted to want to look away from time, but we are constrained with time. Like you have said, it is summary, and I'm sure you can identify the points. Now we quickly go to our Alhaji Abdurrafi, who will be talking about economy, talking about hard time, and that's the whole. So in reality, he's going to give us the summary. Now that make it easy. 10 minutes.
Navigating economic reality and modern homes of the time. We are listening to our key lecturer. As we like, we've listened to our key lecturer, and from there some key things came up. The topic says economic reality. My dear brothers and sisters, number one turbulent issue at home is finance. Am I talking to somebody? Ask the women, what do they want? Oh, after that, ask 20 times. Oh, well, it's not their fault. Our lecturers told us, Allah places responsibility on the man. In Islam, financial responsibility is on the husband. Arijalu Qawwamuna 'ala an-nisaa, not on instruction. Not when you want to force things on them. And not the Qawwam, the first thing is finance. Even Islamically, three key things are there for us to do as man. You must support your family. It's an Islamic standard. You have obligations to discharge some duties on your family. Sorry, because of that, I was trying to rush some things. Because my own lecture is centered only on men. Because the issue of finance is ours. And Alhamdulillah, he has discussed, the first week has spoken about the women. So, in Islam, a woman's income is for her. It's not for you. I'm sure the scholars in the house will be happy with this. Islamically, whatever property your wife has is hers. Whatever income she earns is hers. Salaries she collected from her office is her own. Your own money is our money. Our own money is our own money is our. That's why you see, if you are building a house, you are the one buying the cement, buying the block, and your wife says, I'm calling you out. You learn out. You buy a car, motor wale, don't buy a motor tier, as a motor you. There's nothing you can do about that. It's Islamic standard. That's the way Allah has designed it for us. So I was just trying to give us some advice, just a few ones, because of time. The day we take up the oath, Imam told us, tie back to ways, Bilal. I mean, that is the day that knot was tied. There are certain obligations to teach the Oriental our in which we need to understand it. If you look at Quran chapter 2, verse 2, 3, 3, I won't read Arabic because of time. I'm just read English because mothers may breastfeed their children to complete years, or whoever wishes to complete the nurse period. Allah now says, upon the father is a body of their provisions and their clothing. And I use body for us. It's a must. It's a responsibility. So it means when you get married, you must look for work. Before you get married, you must have a job. Have a job to raise your financial capability so that you'll be able to discharge your financial responsibility. Two, for women, please, we are in a turbulent period. Owó tó wọlé àwọn òkà olúùlù, like our fathers used to say, they say alákọ̀ọ́ àwọn òkà olúùlù. So mú ìyẹn ọmọ olúùlù tó gbọdọ̀ máa sún àwọ̀ jẹ́. That hour is the salary or your income. In a turbulent situation, I doubt if there is any family that has been able to make ends meet perfectly. Unfortunately, economic environment does not even help matter. Salary 100,000, fuel 120, suddenly went to 600. No increase in salary, increase in fuel, increase in food, increase in everything, and it's your responsibility. You must attend to it. So for man, please, earn your salary or your income. Then, for me, because of my own area, please always prepare a monthly budget for yourself to survive the situation. Know your salary. When we say prepare a budget, it's one of the reasons why you normally have problems. You are earning 100,000 or you are earning 50,000. There is no plan for it. As 50,000 comes in, anything they ask for, you just go in. No. Prepare a budget. Try and know how much you spend in a month on food, on your transport, on the feedings, payment of your rent, which is going to be due. You need to prepare a budget. That is what a finance person will always prepare a monthly budget. You might not know it directly, but you observe. Even if you ask your wife, and I think like we have good wife too, honestly, to be frank and candid, I know why I'm saying this. I'm involved. We have a lot of good wives among our wives when it comes to managing our finances. I was in a class one time, and the professor said, if you want to manage your, finance class, he said, if you want to manage your money well, call your wife and tell her to give you how much are we going to spend this month. Save. Then tell her what you have. If you tell her what you have, and it's not up to what you need to spend, you don't worry. If you are sincere, if you are open, she will tell you, don't worry, I'm an honest. And they know how to do this. If you just concussion, that will make the situation work. So always have a budget for yourself. Then, housing, food, clothing, medical expenses, try and do that. Your student education. Make sure your budget aligns with your income. It's always a problem. Budget is aligned with our income. It's not easy. All these things we're saying, people might say, but if you try it can still work out. It might not be perfect, it might not be 100%, but you'll be able to push in something and you'll try to see that you are doing something. So I think on that, then the financially disciplined. When I say financially disciplined, I'll just use one example. The need and the want. What do you really need at home? And what do you want? Want it, it's not need. Mo fẹ́ wọ just like he said, àwọn lágbájá lọ sí sùúrù kọ́ báyìí, ìfá àwọn ọmọ yẹn, ìpè láwọn ọmọ náà lọ́dẹ lọ. Ìdí sọ́kọ̀ lọ tó ti skul, òun kọ́ ló dìtámì, ó lè wà lára ẹ̀ o, but òun kọ́ ló dìtámì future wa. Àìmọye ọmọ tó lọ, gbogbo àwa yìí lọ, local authority command school yìí lọ. Secondary school àdúgbò wa. And I remember one thing, then I'll just use a personal example. When I was in Lagos, there was this school organized, being run by one of our brothers, TMC. That's where I put my children. Somebody came to me and said, Alaji, you should not be able to do that for me. No. Manager is there. Sorry, I mentioned it. This is also there. This is there. I said, thank you. That's where I want them to be. Honestly, I never regret it. If I had gone to where I asked to go, I wouldn't be able to be. It would have been. So let's ensure fairness in our dealings with our wife. Let's always be proactive. I'm learning now. Let's be proactive. Don't wait for your family to ask for help. Ọkùnrin máa ń lead. Don't let them take this away from you. Wọ́n lè ká ọ̀rọ̀ yòó. Agbàṣẹ́ àyìnbẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ sí tó bá lè ní gbọ́ bùkátà adé tó ìtìnà dé. So don't let them take this away from you. You have to be proactive. Think ahead of your family. Don't wait for things to happen before you react. Let's try to be proactive. So then embrace the growth mindset. Let's develop ourselves. Build resilience. He said it here. You take your stand in some situations with women. They don't care. You take your stand. No. Once you know you're taking the right stand, stand by it. One fishica. It's not that they want to. No. They don't. The same thing you complain to this, that's just the answer to you. So it's you that need to be resilient. So develop financial stamina. Then invest wisely where you have excess. No matter how you do, diverse your income sources. For most of us, we need to do that. For those of us who are salary earners, please look for another job by the side, apart from the salary. For those of us who are artisans, please, what you graduated on 5-10 years ago, you move. Go and learn new things. There's nothing wrong about it. Going back to school. We have a lot of people going back to school. And like I said, they don't go PhD on Friday. I'm over 60. Then I want to say, they don't go to the so we need to invest wisely and think forward. Then seek support, community support. There are some things government have in place for us. I remember maybe one of these TMC programs. There was this economic something that you brought somebody from Smeta. We Muslims don't. We are too. They are really going far away. And they gave us opportunity that time. Just go in there. I know recently one of the African brothers, maybe 2 or 3 of them, they got something from these people, which enhance their own job now. So these are things we need to think and think from time to time. So then finally, please, communication is very key. Let's communicate openly with our wives. Let's tell them the situation we are. If we are so the way you are, be open, be straight, be truthful. Then always encourage our wives to not to be docile. Assist them in their businesses. Sit down and tell them, go buy, what you go buy. Let's do that now. To try and lay. Help financially. Even if it's just 5,000, but 5,000 that might not be anything. But it's very, very easy. It goes a long way to show the love we are talking about. Then finally, we also advise our women. The financial responsibility of the husband in Islam are significant and multifaceted. It is essential to recognize that providing for one's family is not only a duty, but also a means of earning Allah's pleasure. As noted in the hadith of the Prophet, he said, your wife has right over you, that you provide her food and clothing in a fitting manner. So there's something I wanted to give our women. I think I'm missing that out, but the bottom line is, let's work as a team. Please, my brother, I need láti sún síwájú, I need láti gbìyànjú sí. lórí bá a ṣe máa rí additional income sí whatever state we are having. Salaam alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you. Actually, a lot has been said, time has been taken. The tension is high, but alhamdulillah, we have a woman that will help us to down finish. If we are talking about storm, and from storm, we talk about economic hardship, the tension goes higher. But let's talk about love. Let's talk about love. Let's be happy. After all said and done, there is something to fall back on. I believe that there is standing by. So how do we bring some support, some rest of mind into the two hearts? Our people are just to give us a good guide and looking for solution. Bismillah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Okay, before I start, one for the brothers and one for the sisters. You answer just by show of hands. My brother, which of you showed some kindness to your wife this morning before you came? Show of hands. Show of kindness. And I'll ask you, don't just raise your hands. Let me test something. But brother, what was the kindness in your wife? Yes, this one in the black. Yes.
So we ran short of our cooking gas this morning. So we have to resort to charcoal. So and she was preparing for this program. I helped her to stir the soup. So I even encourage her that if I'm the one that is going to do this special before you put onion on it, you have put salt.
Okay, let me ask the sister before I ask you a question. Was I romantic? Who thinks I was romantic? I thought it was romantic. We are easy to please. We are easier to please than men. To me, that's kindness, and it's romantic. So if you want to revive romance in your marriage, you don't have to cost you money. So like the financial expert has told you, times are a bit tough, but it doesn't have to kill your marriage. Now, sisters, your own question, which of you showed some kind of soft respect to your husband before you came here this morning? Show of hands. Soft respect. So, sister, the baby, I need to have a mic. What was the form of soft respect? And why do sisters are showing respect in their marriage? Being a call of business sisters, only to show respect. Okay, we can see two more things, two more hands. Okay, yes, it's an honor for me. Yes, representing the lawyer. We know how it's done. We are respectful people. Okay, so this is Sally Brown. Please, I want to hear what, because I different kind of respect. The one I want is called soft respect.
Okay, my husband is a very very conscious person. And usually when we have programs like this, I need to prepare for training. So I asked my husband to do that. What kind of program can I said training? So it was like very online, that is really the house online. So around 8:30, I get them about 8:30, we were up to par, every by 9 we basically eat and leave the house. My last was very was, and it was like, the time is 8:55. I'm like, okay. Then, it's okay. So what he does is he tells me the time is 5 minutes more, or maybe like 10 minutes, so that I will be more conscious of the time. And I really like it because I'm like, okay. So at that time, I was working with the time because I checked the time very and I'm like, okay, by 9 I should be done. So I asked what the time was, and he told me like 30 minutes more. I was so infuriated when I saw that the time was later and we actually like made the time. So when I realized that the time was 9 a.m., I did say the program was for 9 a.m. and we were actually ready for the 9 a.m. Sorry, we were working against time for 10 o'clock and I was done by 9:30. I'm like, okay. Like, I actually felt that like, instead that when I get that time of saying that I will rather be trying to do that and let me get what I'm trying to do. That's why I'm telling my children,
Okay, so how do you show respect for the tongue? So how does that sound? It's good. I'll give you 50%. So what I mean by soft is that the way you treat your husband should be different from the way you treat the driver, the tomato seller, and the metal man. There's very different in the tone of voices and use. The way you talk to me should be soft. The titles that you should call him should be different and respectful according to his culture. So if there is are calling their husband babe, and then you see another one like babe, in front of all of his family. You are going to be romantic, but the poor guy is embarrassed. So you have to be intelligent about how you show respect. And the way you talk to him should always be soft. Never ever to take this absolutely no reason ever for you to speak to your husband in passion. You know why? You have to call her. When Prophet Musa is upon him was told by Allah Himself in Allah's own words, go and speak to Fir'aun. Let me ask you, how did he speak to Fir'aun? How would that be? When I was researching the question of that, they said maybe the kind of date that is always soft. Because this had date to say always soft. From the beginning of the day to the end of the day is soft. That means that when you're speaking to your house, from the partner, from the beginning to the middle and to the end, it must all be soft. If the amil of the animal the worst of the worst tyrants, baby killer, genocide, ruler, right? And he, Allah himself, who created me, I knew he was the hopeless case. But still giving me that chance. And he's telling his prophet, if you are only that God is giving you softly, please, my sister, what on earth will your husband do that will require that you speak to him with contempt in a harsh voice? So those are my two messages. I have a long list, but I think time is constrained. So I want to teach you something I teach at times. Because we're in a very fast-paced world, there's no time. And you women, your mothers, it's hard to run the home. We don't have a lot of time. We are burning out. But we want to save for marriage. So with the limited energy you have left, after taking care of the baby and doing the chores and cooking, you still want to have time for your husband. You're like, who even know where to start? Is it the right dress? Is it the food I'm cool? Is it the beauty of the clean? Is it the respectful? What? How do you do it all? You need to do it all. There is a secret I teach my clients. Normally you pay a lot of money for it. So I'll teach you for free here. It's called the pyramidal principle. There are probably to be different. Pareto, yes. So what it means is that there is something called the 80-20 rule. It means that 20% of your actions can give you 80% of the results. So for instance, we have this phone on. Can see on this case on the ground. You will notice that only a narrow part of it is being used. That's the 20%. But the 80% of us are using that to work. So that's basically what you do. That in every situation, you can find that if you do 20%, you will get 80% of the result. So what do you do? So that you don't have to do 100% of the work, even brothers can use this, ask your spouse, what is kindness to you? What love to you? What's romance to you? Because that's what we care about. Let me tell you the truth. Men don't care about love. They don't need it. Do you know what they like? What is important is that I call it the oxygen. If I'm wrong, please don't have to challenge me. The oxygen for men are two things: respect and intimacy. Am I right? Am I right? 100% of men. That's what they care about.
Yes.
I'm telling you, I love you from head to morning to night. But if you're rude to him, and when he calls you, you don't answer him for intimacy, but love is worthless in his eyes. It's worthless. And a man can be calling her his wife, madam, yes, ma'am. Showing her respect. Do you want respect? How do you do respect? But romance, love, what was taught, what we were taught as lawyers in the study of is kindness. That is everything. In every culture, every woman wants kindness. Because we need it. We are having of things. We are things of pity sometimes. When we see us pregnant, when we are raising babies, when we are having a proposal, when we are having our menses, we need kindness from our husbands. And for us, that's romantic. Yes, we like the flowers, we like the date night, we like money, we like gifts, but I can guarantee you, brothers, you don't need to break the bank to make your wife happy. Little kindness, what I call micro displays of affection. Micro. Whenever I ask my client, I say, do you guys hug? Do you hug your husband? Do you like him when he's going out and coming back? You'll say, no, in 20 years of marriage, it's never done that. You say, okay, you need to start. That kind of way to keep your marriage. He said, we can't. It's too difficult. I said, you know what? The prophet, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, knew that he used to hug and his wife. And guess what? You know where he also does it? It's Ramadan. That's why I make this hadith. The fatwa that can you please survive in Ramadan? There is a hadith that the prophet, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he used to kiss Aisha before going to the masjid. So the scholars were arguing. However, they were like, oh, and because he's strong, he's too great his fast. If you are a young man who got married, go back to your life, it's very fast. So you can see that they showing people that. Then why am I married this woman trying to why is there no God? Because children have never seen you hold hands. They've never seen you hug. They've never seen you pet their father. I'm not talking about friends, kiss your father, and all. That's the other way. It's for the same thing. For the pet of the former she is Sunnah. You're not Sunnah. Well, I think I want to go to and the last thing, social media, all of us have phones. And we are scrolling. Doom scrolling is called. And you are seeing what is the new fad now. Which is the couples that show their life on social media. And you try to compare. This is the one that is there. This is not what about. This one is walking by, taking out the gates, taking out to the beach, taking out flowers. Comparison is the thief of joy. Perhaps what you have is diamonds. But the moment you compare it to that social media or it will become worthless. Please stop that. We will not be outside. Thank you so much for listening.
Actually, you know, sometimes you have some hard decisions to make, but I think I have to try some of those decisions right now. I already am negotiating for more time on our behalf, and I think I'm getting some positive response. Alhamdulillah, we've had some few things, but then we need to put some challenges. We need to make them go beyond the comfort zone. I actually would have loved to take it on this further, but I'm trying to make it the last so that we can still have some push. Ordinarily, the temperature was high. But if we are having only few hands with soft respect, I think really there's an issue we need to address. But before we go further, I want to Madam Abdul Rashid, Doctor, it was like an attack on the women. And I want to believe that the women are not that bad. Yes, the second speaker said it. And Alhaji Rafi also said, maybe the men caused it. And so we need to give back to the men. Now, can there be some reasons, whatever the reason, for a woman to fall into those zones? And perhaps if it has happened before, going forward, how do we make up? Maybe it has happened, yes. That is past. Going forward, what do we do?
Thank you. Well, I think I can just wrap up the answer by taking us to the story in the days of the prophet. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. There was a woman referred to as Kola Muthalaba. I mean, to Falabra. That woman, she understood the nature of her husband and she learned her husband. Invariably, if we are going to exploit what I want to say now, women should learn their husband, they should understand their husband. That man was old, that man was ill-tempered, and out of frustration from outside, he came and pronounced the harm to the woman. That your back will like the back of my mother. And to them, it means he has divorced the woman. So, the woman now took the case to the prophet, and the prophet was not to be patient. The woman was not comfortable with the patient story. She now had because of her, and because of that woman, Allah revealed Surah Al-Mujadala, for the family of God, that Allah had the voice of that woman. So immediately we have power and we need to use it. What I'm trying to let the men realize is that we don't know the wali of Allah among them. Just like we don't know the wali of Allah among us. So in the time of government, don't make your life to be catastrophic by not taking care of the know of you, the understanding of you about your spouse. So I think that is key. If you really want to know the psychology of women, I said they are written a book about psychology of women, marriage. But there is a book you can also read. Men are from Mars. Women are from Venus. Written by a scholar. Men are from Mars. Women are from Venus. So you can Google it and get it. So you will understand your woman, and your woman will understand you through that book. So, and if you understand each other, the way forward is very easy. Thank you.
So I'm still on you. How easy is it for a woman to say, after all said and done, I'm sorry? How easy is it?
Sincerely, if we don't allow Shaitan, I'm talking from experience. If we don't allow Shaitan in our life, it's always very easy for a woman to say sorry. But when Shaitan has taken over the heart, it becomes so difficult. I've handled several conflict resolution sessions, and it became difficult for the woman. Instead of her to say sorry, she may burst into tears. And whenever you see women bursting into tears, please help to one, if you want to cover up, don't leave me. Then two, it may be sincere. You get me? and it is to the extent of how painful that thing is. In therapy, allow her to cry. I know of one of my friends, what do you call clinical psychology. He had a patient, and the patient, he asked her, what do you now need? I want to cry. That day, cry. And the whole clinic, everybody was coming to the clinic to see who is crying. Go, 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 go. So it's part of the therapy. Allow.
Is that alhamdulillah. Moving forward, you you gave us a list of solutions. Let me put it down. Be transparent, be proactive, be resilient, stand firm, show support, and then seek support from the government and others. An attempt to quickly want to rush to make up time. After all said and done, on the reverse, we heard about the story of the man with Pekeke. Is there a reason at whatever point in time to get angry after all said and done and have reason not to do your duty? That is taking care of the problem.
Well, when we say something is a responsibility and it's ordained by Allah, there's no extent. I have an experience with one of our malam. The man happens to be in Lagos. Not even only malams, even some of us, most of us, we do. He's the one that normally goes to the market, the man, to buy things and bring it home. And in most cases, the wife will still deny him in partaking from eating some of these things deliberately. So he kept on doing it repeatedly. The woman also was reacting. Somebody now asked among the students, Eru palapala welele? He said, palapala tèmi nìyẹn. Palapala tí Ọlọ́run ti sọ́dọ̀ tèmi nìyẹn. I will do my own part. That is number one. It's a responsibility, we must discharge it. Allah order us to do it, irrespective of whatever happens in between. Then secondly is, you yourself need to look at yourself. How close or how open are you to your family? Men, how open and how close are we to our family on issues, even beyond finances? Then finances. If your wife knows your level, I still repeat it, I said it earlier on, I think it's a natural thing from Allah to them. They will know how to manage it for you. I'm talking from experience. I'm not saying myself. I have series like that. So if I know those who are open, we see the results. But if you are the type that your wife doesn't, that trust is not even there. Abu, you are looking good when things are not when things are not going fine in the house. There's a problem. So that is. Then thirdly, you don't need to go, for some of us, we don't need to interfere in some of the things that this woman goes ahead and do. Some of them might take it, some of them might not take it. If you are the type, okay, let me use this example. If you go out and buy something and bring it home, the first question your wife asks you Èló lè rà? If you buy it 5,000 and you say 5,000 mo rà, wọ́n ti gbá yìí. Am I saying something? Wọ́n ti gbá yìí yẹn orí àkọ́fò. Men, is it not like that? Somebody I wanted to make happy, wọ́n ti gbá yìí. You know, that can trigger anger. But you as a man, wọ́n gbà mí, èló ni? 3,500 ló ń tà, màá rà 3,500 jọ mi. Life continue. But if you react based on that answer, àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tó máa ń jáde lẹ́nu obìnrin, tẹ́lifù ni o, I don't know, bóyá dáná ni. The way they say it, you first hate yourself, wàá tó kọ́ wo rẹ̀ rà. Ṣé mi náà? So, but ìsinmi ìrú, aṣọ mi ìrú, wàrọ̀ mi tù, nítorí kápá obìnrin nìyẹn. So, and I think when it's getting to a level that you can't do, just take your shirt, just have a walk, cool off, go to the big maybe one juice, even with just 3 verses you are able to read, relax more. If you can buy pure water for yourself, you can wash it down with 1 5 alive, sit down and wash it down. Then you come back home, and then home would have settled by that time. May Allah continue to guide us right.
I added more questions, but you have really said something very important. The bottom line is, it is an instruction from Allah, regardless of whatever anybody does in your past. I was going to Elijah with a different question, and I'll take it from the last thing he said. Comparison is a thief of joy. As we are here, a lot of brothers and see themselves, and our almost look at these other brothers. Of course, nobody don't like the data. So we want all those two things. How can we avoid comparison objectively? That doesn't mean that we shouldn't learn what is good, but how can we avoid comparison? But that's not all. You were going to give us some doses for free. And I was not going to cut you off. Let's have more doses. Thank you.
Yeah, always a bit glad you mentioned there is a perfect hadith that says that look to those who are below you. Don't look at those that are above you, so that you don't be little on you. That is the antidote to comparison. That is the antidote to comparison. Is gratitude. You wake up in the morning, the first thing you say, Nandi, Akiana, you find another and then you set your day, you set your mind, you start to look for more things to be grateful for. You scan your husband for benefits, and you, the husband, scan your wife for benefits. What am I grateful for in this? I'm grateful that she's the mother of my children. I'm grateful that she's my guardian, she covers my secrets. I'm grateful that my husband and gives me what he can afford. I'm grateful for the house that he provided. I'm grateful he doesn't disgrace or embarrass me in public when I'm wrong. I'm grateful he takes care of me when I'm ill. I'm grateful for medicine bills. The list is endless. I am so passionate about gratitude that I actually built a journal. I created one. I will ask you every day, what are you grateful for today? Who are you grateful for today? And then what trial are you grateful for today? Do you know why you should be grateful for your trial? Because in a man, inside that man that you think is a problem are endless possibilities. They go together. You should get excited anytime you see a problem or a trial. Because it's the promise of Allah that they go together. You use some of the E together with that part. So when you have the lens of gratitude, you turn your problems into possibilities, you let go of the victim mindset, and you adopt a victim. It's extremely powerful. It's inside out. A lot of us are passive. We're waiting for life to happen to us. We don't realize that life is happening for us. Allah has said He made everything in the world for you. He subjected every animal, every resource in the world for you. And you're there, feeling like you're victim. Why me? Woe is me? Why did I marry this man? Why did I marry this woman? I am so unlucky. This is the language of Shaitan. It's not the language of the Muslim. We are confident, we know that when we're grateful, Allah has promised to Surah Al-Baqarah in verse 7 that in Shakatu, in a promise, it is a metaphysical law. You know what that means? Even an atheist, if he is grateful, Allah will give you. So if you are into self-help and you read all those books, every single billionaire will have a chapter for charity, for gratitude. All of them, and they don't even believe in God. But they will attest that when you're grateful, the universe will give you more. But it's Allah, it's a promise He has set. So I encourage you, my sisters, if you have a friend, a neighbor, a sister who is fond of complaining, don't her. It's not worth it. Life is too short. You either advise her, let that engage, challenge. We call it the no complaints challenge. I've done this several times with my sister. We gather in a group, they actually even pay you. That's what coaching is. I hold you accountable to your goals. They're like, tell me how many times you did complain and how many times you did. No complaints challenge. And they all give the same feedback. My life is better. I feel happier. My marriage is happier. Because you're training your mind. It's all from the inside. So that's my advice to you. Gratitude.
Again, another news here, the victim mindset versus the victor mindset. As long as we are grateful, as them, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us that understanding. I don't want to be very selfish. I want us, the audience, to take opportunity to throw some jab. If you have a question, I'm willing to. One here, one here. Any question is going already? Okay, I already have the questions. So sorry. I think we should leave it there. The first question is already on the table. You can read the question and go. Okay.
First of all, I forgive us all and may you assist us in our religion. The wife have said they should not make life miserable for their husband. For God, in the case we have the reverse. That means the husband making life miserable. Brother said it's a very good question. Yes. Well, one of those things that disturb men is that capacity they hold. And in our psychology, we are egoist. Our ego, we don't want. So, and because of that ego, you tend to be building on it. You see, when you build on your ego, the ego that is natural of you, then you are allowing Shaitan to continue to guide you. And that is when you will be doing things, you will know that this thing is wrong, and you will continue to do. You get me? I've seen the case of a man whose wife was requesting that, oh, you man, you have stamped me for almost 2 months. What have I done to you? And that man, he had actually got another person. He married another person somewhere. So sometimes he will tell the man that I'm going on a business trip. So that means for such time, the man must have been fulfilling his own need somewhere else. What I'm trying to say is that the life of those people among us men that are also making life miserable for the women. We are human. We know what we are doing is correct or what we are doing is wrong. So when you continue to build on that wrong, you are only allowing Shaitan to take over you. You get me? So men, when their wife is in pregnancy, because they will continue, go and do this, go and do this, and you will see woman now looking so raw. And please, women, I refer you to a Nollywood movie, Mr. and Mrs. Mr. and Mrs. If you can watch it, you will know how to deal with the life of that man. So it's a secret. When you watch it, you will know how to deal with them. But all I'm advising us is that let's fear Allah. That's justice. We are the driver. Let's fear Allah. When you fear Allah, you know that you are not treating that woman very well. So that's on that question. The second question he asked is, how can wife manage a man that is keeping malice? You see, I may not give us much on this, or we have been guided. When we should be intentional about reading books. I've given you like 2 books. Aladi has given you, my sister giving us some strategies. So, for any man that is keeping malice, of course, something must have led to it. Do you get it? Even though in the principle of Islam, somebody that keep malice such that he sees the second person turn away and the other person turn away. They said if it is after 3 days, then the 2 of them are people of God. So it's simple. We are Muslims. You get it? But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He gave the Prophet blanket forgiveness. And I remember one of my teachers, Justice Abdurrahim Sai, he said every wife and every husband to give their partner blanket forgiveness, just like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has done. Because what we are doing is actually worship, ibadah. So you should see your woman as the collateral benefit of the dividend of your ibadah. And your woman should see you as the collateral beneficiary of the dividend of her ibadah. So when you now see your husband taking malice, your own role is, I want to enter him. How do you now enter him? You know him. That's why you read him. Because you know him, you know what he likes, you know what he wants. You don't go extreme that no, come with what he likes. It may be what he likes may be best, and what he likes may be food. You know better. You go and do your own ibadah on him, and inshallah you are going to be rewarded for what you do. Don't go with him in the malice. And brothers, we advise ourselves to don't keep malice.
Or can there be a reason for competition? On the flip side, what if it's the wife that is blessed? Should the man see the wife competing? Thank you.
Or can the man turn such wife to ATM? But you see, when the prophet said we should try and choose